accept this and say your goodbyes and not to interfere.
Thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome. Now, some other business as well. Um, Now, there have been some crazy. There's been some rumors recently this of a strange uh, card reader in the city of Quimbriska as well. He's spreading rumors of the rise of the undead as well. This is also where we have first gotten our information about this idea of undead spreading, and we need to look into that. That was supposed to be for Soma, but he's not here. Um, Also, there are reports of undead groups in the blasted wastes as well, near the tower of um, uh, near the tower of Arad. God damn it! Zoom, damn you, Barad Amos, which is the same tower that you guys got information about inside of your um, inside the dungeon. And she says, other than that, I don't have much to tell you. Um, but did you guys have any idea where you guys might be thinking um, of headed?
I would like to take a moment and think of interest in the depths of the dungeon.
Okay, and take interest of what?
I'd like to ask the party if anything of great interest was found in the depths of the dungeon. Such places in this area have been on.
Um, that's gonna be amongst you guys to explain that to him.
We can do that on Camp Talk.
Yeah, one thing I was gonna suggest you guys. So, here's my plan. Okay, I want you guys to, because honestly, you guys have pretty much done all of my prepping, uh, and so I need to do a little bit more. But now that you guys are out of the dungeon, I can do things other than that and start getting some quests involved. Um, and what you guys might want to do. So if you guys have any ideas, discuss it. Like tomorrow, if you guys have um, some time to talk on the camp talk, try to think of some ideas of what you guys would like to do going forward. I'll have like more information from Tane and stuff when you guys start next session. He's gonna come and report to you guys. Um, and we'll move on from there. I know that Orsic is going to want to go take care of his friend, and
Correct.
that was my initial plan for you guys to go on a quest. So that I kind of started to prep on that. But if you guys end up wanting to do something else, I will have a couple other options prepared for you as well.
I will leave them all.
I would like to heal Varric's tiger as soon as possible because he told me that the creature is suffering and I can't let it be in pain.
Okay. You would travel out to the to Gray's stable to find the tiger, and he's not really like super damaged. He's just hurt. So just your cure wounds and stuff like that would heal him.
Level 1?
Yeah, it doesn't take much to heal him. He's wounded, but not anywhere near death or anything like that.
Well, I do my best to be reassuring and I obviously know it's a wild animal and it can probably lash out while injured. But I step forward and cast Cure Wounds on Varric's pet.
Absolutely. So go ahead and you can cast your spell and it'll heal for it's
Yeah, I'll give you a piece of jerky, because he tends to like a certain jerky that I make, so it helps you actually get closer.
Yeah.
And with me being there, he knows that okay, this is fine.
Just don't want to get mauled.
I had so I'm gonna go ahead and say we're gonna call this session kind of like right now, but we can talk a little bit. I will tell you I had some characters set up for shopping and stuff like that, because I figured we'd get to that. But then I realized,
I had
Yeah,
an
I got a
issue
lot
with
to
my
sell,
money.
so
yeah, you had an issue with your money. What do you mean?
Okay, I was keeping track of it, and I think I was organizing my stuff in my bio, and I deleted all the money. And I didn't cut and
I know.
paste, and I copied something else after I cut it.
Oh no.
I have
I-
no idea how much I had.
What I have so far, because I was just keeping track of like of everything that Josh would say, not even like who it was went to, but like in total when we average, but like what's the word when so many silver pieces to gold pieces and copper to silver?
Yeah,
Conversion.
when you
Yeah,
convert
conversion.
everything.
With the conversion, what we have collected, I like again, I don't know who it goes to. 1,196 gold pieces, 16 silver, 9 copper. But then we have a bunch of gems too that make it not up to nearly 2,000 gold pieces. And like I said, I have no idea who has what. It's just what I,
So I
you know.
think
yeah, I have a whole bunch. I haven't measured up how much yet, but I will.
you guys, I think you guys said when we started this that you guys were just gonna kind of stick it
Oh,
into.
sorry. Ignore that. I was trying to get information on what I can do.
No worries. That you guys were gonna put it in a group fund and then just divide it evenly amongst everyone.
Yeah.
Once you
Yeah,
exited
that
the
would be
dungeon.
fine.
Okay. Well, I was worried because I didn't know if anyone had compiled all the numbers, and I had deleted my information.
I know that Orsic, you
I've been
may have a little bit of extra stuff, but I don't exactly remember what.
I have like physical items, like I have that can be sold still.
Okay.
But all my gold and stuff and gems were all in one place,
Okay.
and then I was gonna move them around, but I deleted.
Okay.
I would like to take a moment to poke through anything that they've recovered from the dungeon get sold given my abilities.
Okay.
We found that cloak and we never discovered what it does.
Oh, the
Not
cloak
yet,
of
'cause
protection.
We have a couple things I believe that we need. Well, I guess I put the ring on, but it didn't do anything to me, so we could still have that identified as well.
Yeah.
I'm proficient in many languages.
Same.
Yeah. So here's what we can do. Let's make a list of everything you guys want me to kind of give you guys more in-depth descriptions of. And at the beginning of and like give that to me in Discord, and I will have like stat blocks set up for all of it by the start of next session. And like combine all your guys' gold and everything like that. Let me know what you have, and I will have a lot more stuff prepared. Like anything you guys want me to have prepared for you by the beginning of next session, let's do that. At the beginning of next session, we're gonna go shopping. So that'll probably be the beginning. It'll probably take a little while because I like shopping. I think it's fun to kind of haggle and stuff like that. Also,
And I do need a few things.
yeah, and also I want to all the letters and stuff like that. If you guys have it in your notes, just try to combine them all so that I can give them to Poetry and I'm gonna tell you guys how to fix their names at the bottom of the thing, so I don't have to do this again. And Ilar, and so that they know the stuff that you found, and that way I can start disseminating information to them as well, so they have more.
What languages do you speak, Poetry?
I speak Celestial, Common, Infernal, Primordial, and Sylvan.
Okay, we have a few in common then.
So, and then, yeah, so I'm honestly, let me ask you guys this, and you don't have to give me a definitive answer because you guys can discuss this in the camp talk as well. Do you think that Varric is going to be, or Orsic is going to be able to convince you guys to help him?
I mean, I think so. Poetry is like really just along for the ride at this point.
Alar will do literally anything if possibility of him learning something he doesn't know.
Okay. Oh, and before Tane leaves, he lets you guys know that he's leaving Alar in your guys's not care, but like he's offering him to you as he is a font of knowledge as well as a cleric, and will be able to help with any healing duties. And
who studied extensively about the undead.
Yes, and he's an expert on undead.
Oh,
that was the other thing that I needed to talk to you about that I didn't realize is that I never chose something for my discovery from my hermit background.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe it would have something to do with like the Bone War because that's relevant to like the main kind of plot, and also that's like those are the stories that she was obsessed with growing up.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. On Monday, if you're free, after I get off work, or maybe Sunday if that works for you as well, I'm willing to hop on here and kind of work some of those things out with you. Because I spent a lot of time with the other characters, kind of creating their characters based off of the lore of the world and stuff like that. So I'll totally do that with you and Alar.
For sure.
So I do kind of about poetry talking about, like, I haven't really thought much about this part of my bond, but one of my bonds is must preserve ancient text by destroying those who seek to destroy it.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So
is that Varric?
Yes, this is Varric. So I mean, whatever you choose to be the text that I'm preserving, I mean, however you connect it with somebody else, or if you don't, that's up to you. But
okay, I actually have an idea.
My bond is that I've been searching my entire life for the answer to the question, so I'd be greatly interested in text you lost.
Well, all of you guys in poetry are going to have some connections. Okay.
Yeah, we are.
So I hope you guys still enjoyed the end of it because I was just fucking ad-libbing a lot of the stuff at the end. But
no, it was good, man.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
I'll be more prepared by next session.
Spirit Doll took me by surprise. It was pretty nice.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and I apologize that I didn't make your entrance nearly as entertaining, Ilar.
It's okay. I feel a little basic because I'm just the discredited sage who's insanely learn everything.
Okay, but like I'm really like excited for poetry and your character to like get to know each other because we have the same fatal flaw. Like, I chose Poet's fatal flaw to be that she's just entirely too curious. So like I feel like they could be really good friends, and I'm really excited.
Absolutely.
My fatal flaw is there was a demon ransacking the village. Everyone else be running away.
Oh, and
on it.
Tuli, I wanted you to know
You run to danger.
so that you can try to build on this because I'm assuming that you and Ugna are going to stay connected. So
Back to that kobold.
During some of this downtime, you and Ugna are going to come hang out and talk, and Ugna is going to express a desire to learn magic.
Okay.
Ooh.
You can always give him a crossbow and have him pop out of the back.
Oh, yeah.
What were you going to say, Adam?
Yeah, I have stuff that I wanted to talk to you about my character's background.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Alar will definitely spend hours talking.
Of course.
Too.
I mean, did you want to do that tonight, or would you like to meet up soon? So I'm gonna need like a couple days to prepare. So any stuff that you guys would like to talk about, can we do it Sunday or Monday?
Yeah, no problem. I got a couple of, I mean, you know what my what do you call it? My letters will contain right now. That's generally what I'm working on.
Okay, for sure. So yeah, we're gonna we're gonna start getting into a lot more like role play and your backstories and stuff like that. This is I don't want your characters to know this in their minds, but I'm gonna talk to you because it matters on what we do next. If you guys want to continue the main plot, you need to let me know, so that I can prepare that. Because in my mind, you guys are going to go off and do your own things for a little while. And I will tell you that there is no direct threat from the
how much XP did we get?
the main.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
So I have not calculated it tonight. You guys are gonna level.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're probably gonna level.
Do you guys want to level tonight? Because if so, I can go figure it out. Here, I'll figure it out real quick. Give me about 5-10 minutes to figure it out.
Hey.
Okay.
All right, just give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get coffee.
What?
What? I don't want to go to bed.
Okay, so 1, 2,
Into RP.
3.
See, I got all embarrassed and tongue-tied because I haven't done this in so long.
Oh, for sure.
That's fair.
You'll get back into it. Don't even stress. It takes a minute to get back into it.
Since I write, I'm a better typist, so I was having Tiger because naturally, if somebody's wounded, the cleric's gonna want to see them.
Oh, for sure.
And that's why we've got the camp talk chat.
Yes.
Because RP is definitely easier over like chat.
Yeah.
Like I am an extrovert, like I never shut my yap in my other campaign, and I'm like I still kind of struggle with RP even though I'm like fully comfortable. Never really, like sit back, but
You see, I'm
I,
like the
I,
exact
I find you
opposite.
play your characters pretty good. Said I find you play your characters pretty good.
I was trying not to be overbearing because I was like, as soon as
yeah, I struggle so much with being like too loud and too overbearing. Like it didn't really come out this session because I'm still a little bit shy, but just for future reference, like if you feel like I'm talking a little bit too much or if I accidentally keep interrupting you, do just let me know. It won't hurt my feelings or anything. I want to make sure that I'm not making anybody uncomfortable.
I just didn't want to come off as a weirdo by having him poke poetry constantly.
And
I try to hold back a little bit, but I don't know if you notice. Like I'll sit there and like Josh will ask something, and literally I'll wait for like 20 seconds of silence, and if nobody says anything, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna say this.
I did take up a bunch of spells for his background because he traveled. That will help rather immensely. Like detect magic, healing word, cure wounds, guiding bolt.
I'll describe to you guys because we didn't do really the introductions. My guy's name is Varric. He is literally like 3.5 feet tall, weighs about 60 pounds. He has short red hair with freckles and a little red goatee. He believes in his God, talks about his God a little bit. He's a very helpful person. He believes in helping people. Like if somebody like stopped me on the road and said, "Oh, can you give me 2 gold pieces?" I'd probably give him 2 gold pieces because that's just who he is. Part of who he is. He's just a helpful person. And yeah, riding a tiger, it's part of his family background, actually. I asked Josh if I could have a tiger as a mount, and he's like, well, I'm not going to say yes, but if you build me a good enough backstory, he's like, then I'll say yes. So I built a whole village built around like all of these different houses, and a couple of them have animals as mounts, and one of them was a tiger.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What I came up with was essentially So the Wood Elves don't really look kindly upon magic, but since he grew up wanting to know just about everything that and eventually took clerical arts once it got far enough and began studying the arcane, which kind of got him frowned at based on the community around him. So eventually he was just like, well, I've kind of learned everything I can learn. I'm just going to go wander the world and see what else I can find out there. And he kind of just wanders around and he heals people when they need it and tries to help out villages he's at in exchange for information he can get. Can be a little bit single tracked when it comes to the prospect of any old elder knowledge, especially if it's celestial or in nature.
Cool. That actually, like, that premise, like, that idea reminds me a lot of campaign. Like, she's very similar, but instead of growing up in a society where they just kind of look down on magic, she grew up in a cult where they burned witches. So, yeah.
The Wood Elves don't really, like, they don't hate it, but they're just like, why would you possibly do the arcane, man? Like, why?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah. I have some, I got all the experience for you guys. Unfortunately, sorry, Alar and Poetry, you guys didn't really defeat anything, so you guys don't get any experience for this session. However, you will coming up soon.
That's fair.
I defeated my misconceptions.
That is true. Is Tuli, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, so
and I'm here.
Okay, you all get 1,230 experience.
Say that again. 1,200.
1,230.
Yes.
So for me,
that's a lot.
2,860.
And that was divided 5 ways because Kipper was there for the vast majority, so I didn't just divide it 4 ways.
But yeah, like, heads up if you're in a dungeon.
That's also 2 sessions worth, right?
Huh? Yeah, that was 2 sessions.
Heads up what?
That was 2 sessions worth.
I was just gonna say, if we're like in a obviously evil-looking tome, you might want to keep an eye on him because he's gonna want to go grab it.
For sure.
Is it okay if I share Poet's backstory a little bit? Because, like, she definitely would, like, you know, she's pretty open about it.
Absolutely.
That's your choice.
Can you share Poet's what?
Backstory, kind of?
Yeah.
Like, she's an open book. Like, she would have told them on the first night if they asked, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, Alar will ask. He's gonna ask very soon.
There we go.
Well, she would explain, that, like, the reason for being, like, a kind of living doll is that, her dad was an old wizard who lived in a tower pretty far into, the woods. He was an old tiefling, and around the end of his life, he realized that while he had devoted his entire life to research, he never, you know, got married or had a family or anything. So he, you know, got really lonely. He was like, oh, I'm going to spend the last years of my life alone, and I don't have an apprentice to pass on my research to, so I did all of that for nothing. So he, like, in his research, he was reading about creation myths from, like, other gods and religions and stuff, and he read about Prometheus creating man from clay and asking Hera to breathe life into them. So he took a little bit of, like, inspiration and got a doll maker to make, like, a little tiefling doll, kind of like how he would envision his daughter or his apprentice. And then he asked Mystra, like, I've devoted my entire life to researching magic, you know, can you please bind a soul to this doll? And, you know, I want a family and a daughter and, like, an apprentice. And she obliged. And that's how Poe was created. So her soul was kind of just taken out of nowhere. Like, I don't even know what her soul was, who she was before, but she was binded to the doll. and she just kind of grew up like any normal kid. Like she bleeds, she has to eat, she has to drink and stuff. The only difference being that she has porcelain skin, kind of like it's a weird mix between being a doll and a person. But because of the powerful magic that binds her soul to the doll, to her vessel, she found herself becoming more of a sorcerer than a wizard. So she couldn't exactly learn her dad's research or become his apprentice because she couldn't control her powers. So he just kind of he just kind of accepted that and enjoyed having a family and a daughter and not being alone anymore. So for the last 16 years of his life, Poet helped around the house and kept him company and she still listened to stories about the arcane and really loved stories about old mages and the Bone War particularly and learning about adventurers. So while she didn't actually learn any magic, she did learn a lot of history about magic. But eventually her dad did pass away. So when he passed away, she couldn't stand to be alone in the tower. So she set off, leaving all of his research in the tower, hoping that she would learn to control her powers and maybe come back one day and kind of read through it or understand it and carry on her dad's legacy. And also she went out to kind of become the adventures that she admired so much from her stories, and to maybe form a kind of relationship with Mistra, because she's the last kind of parental figure that she has. Mistra isn't really her mom, but she's the one that brought her to life, so it's an awkward thing, but so yeah, that's how she got here. She's really excited to make new friends and explore, and yeah.
He's gonna have so many questions.
So, how far did you guys level?
More. What do you mean?
Did you guys get to level 5 or just 4?
Oh, as far as I know, 4, but I haven't got to read my spells yet.
4?
Yeah,
Okay.
27 is 400, is level 4.
Okay. Perfect.
So 2,700 puts you at level 4. So we're literally just above level.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Okay, so I always like to do this at the end of the sessions because it helps me become a better DM. Did you guys have anything that you thought went really well or anything that you thought went not so well and that you'd like me to improve?
I think we're really good at setting atmosphere.
Yeah, definitely. Very good at that.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the tone that you were intending to set for the campaign, but I feel kind of it's a very somber kind of mood, kind of sad, and there's a lot of cruelty, but occasionally you run into a person who's just quite nice and polite, and it kind of gives them hope. Kind of like a Darkest Dungeon type feel, with a little bit of
I love Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah.
You set the secondary characters very well. If anything, the only thing I'd say that dragged was that middle section towards the end of the dungeon kind of went on. They were in that bassinet room for a long time.
Yeah. Agree.
Some...
What do you, Thule, Orsic, or Varric? Do you guys have anything to add?
No, I'm loving it, man.
No. I mean, I kind of felt bad for them. They pretty much had to go the entire session not playing and only listening.
Yeah,
that's why I was kind of trying to push it. I was like, do we have to roll? I was like, I was kind of trying to push it forward. I was like, get them in.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that. That is sometimes an issue though with popping into a ongoing campaign.
Yeah.
I was about to start making jokes that you're just gonna.
Yeah. The problem was, they were if they weren't in a dungeon, I could have stuck you guys in there, but there was literally no narrative reason you guys would have been in that room.
The plan was to introduce me as soon as they got out of the dungeon, set up camp, but they were just in the last room of the dungeon for 3 hours.
Yeah. And then that stuff just took a while. Now, was there any things So there's. How did you feel about like the NPCs inside the town? Were they engaging other than